Hello, my name is Craig Haste. I'm a high school technology teacher for Elizabeth City, Pasquotank County Public Schools. Today I'll be presenting my final project for ECI 471 that focuses on ability grouping and tracking in education. The educational practice of ability grouping and tracking appeared around the turn of the 20th century. The thought process behind the practice was to prepare students for their appropriate place in the workforce. Students that showed high ability and skills were given intense academic training. Inversely, if a student showed lower abilities, they would be provided more of a vocational education. The two most common forms of ability grouping are shown here. First, there is within-class grouping, which is commonly referred to as ability grouping. Within-class grouping is a teacher-based practice where students are grouped by their ability and given differentiated assignments within the same class. Secondly, we have between-class grouping, which is commonly referred to as tracking. Tracking is a school's practice of separating students by their ability level into completely separate classes, courses, or course sequences based on their testing or academic achievements. Let's take a little deeper look into these two. Supporters of ability grouping believe that this practice will allow teachers to tailor the pace and content of the instruction to better suit students' needs. This form focuses on heterogeneous mixed ability classroom where the teacher separates students of similar abilities into small groups. This was originally utilized for reading or mathematics instruction, but has been adapted into other courses. This practice allows students to be given differentiated assignments and work with students of similar levels while also being exposed to students of varying ability levels. If implemented correctly, this model will provide additional instructional challenges to students with high ability levels. Students with mid to low ability levels benefit from the heterogeneous makeup of the classroom. Their assignments provided are still challenging but not to the same level as the high ability students. They will also benefit from the additional academic support from their peers and teachers alike. And lastly, with class grouping, this allows the teachers to evaluate students' ability level constantly. This will allow the students' grouping to be changed or modified by the teacher if the student shows significant growth. This chart depicts the finding of a study conducted by James and Shen-Lin Kulik. Their research discovered that 82% of students, no matter the ability level, demonstrated a higher level of achievement when students were grouped by ability within their respective classes. Now let's move on to between-class grouping or tracking. Due to its homogeneous nature, tracking allows teachers to have set assignments for the entire class. Differentiated instruction only occurs depending on the ability level of the entire class. Tracking is a highly controversial practice in education, and it's not hard to find numerous amounts of opinions both for and against. There has been extensive research that has yielded various results, but most will agree that tracking definitely benefits the high ability groups. By labeling them gifted or talented and placing them in a classroom together, it allows them to be challenged and flourish academically. The controversy surrounded this tactic is more geared towards the low and the mid ability groups. Evaluations of students' ability levels are administered periodically at best. In some cases, students spend their entire educational career in the same group. It is argued that the low to mid ability students are provided with subpar education compared to the high ability students, and that this practice is responsible for widening the achievement gap for low income and minority students. We can see here that studies have shown tracking students to a high ability track does positively affect their academic growth, and it can have some effect on mid-level achievers as well. However, it is also shown to be placed on a low-level track can actually be detrimental to a student's academic growth. In conclusion, there are 3 things I would like you to take away from this presentation today. First, ability grouping and tracking are 2 separate ideologies with positive and negatives for each practice. Secondly, ability grouping is a teacher-based practice that has been proven beneficial for all ability levels and if it's implemented and executed correctly by a teacher, it is extremely beneficial. Lastly, implementing tracking on the school level can show positive growth for both mid-level ability and high-level ability students, but is demonstrated to be detrimental for students of lower ability levels. Here are a few references for the information I have gathered for this project. Like I stated earlier, there is no lack of opinion surrounding ability grouping and tracking, so please take a further look on your own. And I say thank you and have a great day.